In today's class, we are going to see the classification of torque. Classification of torque. So how can we classify the torque? In what is the necessity of torque? What are the various types of torques involved, and what are the techniques involved in classification of torque, and what are the techniques involved in controlling the torque, and what is the techniques involved in damping torque and all. So this is about the content which you are going to discuss. In today's class, we will discuss about the concept, that is classification of torque. And before going to discuss the classification of torque, this is the brief introductory thing. We discuss about definition of torque, normal standard definition of torque, and what is the need of torque at our discussion of instruments. And next we will discuss about introduction to torque classification. That means actual torque in an instrument is classified into three types. That is deflecting torque, controlling torque, and damping torque. We will discuss about these three things in detail. And next we will discuss about types of controlling torques. That means what are the methods we involve in controlling the torque. Next we will discuss about gravity control, spring control. That are the various types of techniques involved. And next we will discuss about damping torque and techniques involved in damping torque, like air friction damping, fluid friction damping, and eddy current damping. And next we will make a further classification about the torque classification and what are the instrumentation involved in this. That means what we are going to discuss today means we will discuss about the definition of torque, what is the need of torque in the instrumentation concept and the measurements concept, and we will discuss about the introduction to the torque. That means how can we use the concept of torque in instrumentation. That means what are the various types of torques involved, like deflecting torque is involved, controlling torque is involved, damping torque is involved. And next we will discuss about what are the various types of equipments involved in controlling the torque, like spin control and damping control. And next we will discuss about damping torque in detail. So before going into the in detail inception about the classification of torque, first we will see what is the definition of torque. What is the definition of torque and what is the need of torque here? Definition of torque. So most of you know familiar with the torque. Torque is nothing but a force. Okay, twisting force, rotating force, which tend to move at an instant. That means how can we define torque? Means torque is not nothing but a twisting force, rotating force, which we can measure, which we have to measure a particular object rotating at a particular instant of time. That means we are about to measure a particular rotating spindle at an instant of time, which is moving at a particular axis. So most of you are familiar with the instruments we are using in the labs. We are using DC voltmeters, we are using DC ammeters, AC voltmeters, AC ammeters, and wattmeters. Most of you are seen in previous circuit labs and machine labs. So here what is happening? What is the need of torque at this instant? So we define the medium torque. What is meant by torque? Torque is a twisting force, which is the tend to cause a rotation. So we have to measure this force at what particular rotation it is happening. So how this torque producing is according to the Faraday's law. According to the Faraday's laws, what actually happens means whenever this current carrying conductor, so this is our current carrying conductor. See, this vertical conductor is the current carrying conductor, which is placed in the presence of these two particular magnetic fields. See, on the screen I have shared the screen. It's visible, I think. Right. So on this particular this is the current carrying conductor, which is placed in the presence of this particular magnetic field. Okay, what will happen according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction? So whenever the current carrying conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field, it will experience certain amount of force. That force is nothing but the torque which we are talking about. So the conductor, which is a current carrying conductor, is placed in the presence of this particular magnetic field, and it will experience certain amount of force. Okay, so the conductor will start rotating. So what I have done means I have connected a pointer. So whenever the conductor is started its rotation, the pointer will start deflecting. Deflecting in the sense the pointer will start moving from the initial point of the scale to the final point of it is a particular range of a scale. Either if it is a current of 5 amps, the needle will start deflecting from 0 amps to 5 amps. If it is 30 volts, the needle will start deflecting from 0 volts to 30 volts up to a specific range. That means how the pointer is rotating in a particular axis means we are placing the current carrying conductor in the presence of the magnetic field. Okay, whenever the conductor is started rotating in a particular rotating, whenever the conductor is twisting at a particular speed, the pointer is started its deflection. Okay, so so how this conductor is how this conductor is conducting the current. So if we connect an ammeter is connected in series to the line. So the series current which is flowing in the line is experienced with respect to this conductor. Or if this is a voltmeter, if we connect this instrument in parallel to the line, most of you are very familiar that ammeter is connected in series to the line and voltmeter is connected in parallel to the line. So whenever this voltmeter is connected in parallel to the line, this instrument is connected as an voltmeter in parallel to the line. So the EMF which is flowing in the line is experienced with this conductor. Okay, and that conductor, whenever it is experiencing an EMF, the current will start flowing in the conductor, and that is the current carrying conductor placed in the presence of magnetic field. It will experience certain amount of force and it will start rotating. So is it clear? So this is an exact principle of our instrument. I just taken a sample instrument, that is PMMC instrument, permanent magnet moving coil, and later I classify the types of instruments. I'm just explaining the operating principle of an instrument. So don't get yourself confused, or don't get yourself so tedious. What I'm saying means, so if we connect an ammeter in series to the line, okay, the current flowing in the line is experienced with this conductor. Okay, same amount of current flowing in the line is experienced with this conductor. Okay, the conductor itself a current carrying conductor placed in the presence of magnetic field. How this magnetic field is created? This north pole and south pole is nothing but two permanent magnets. Magnetic lines of poles is flowing from north pole to south pole. Okay, the conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field. Current carrying conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field, and it is started its rotation. And it will experience certain amount of force. And the pointer, whenever this conductor is rotating at a particular force, the pointer will start rotating. So this is the principle of our instrument. Either it is an ammeter or an voltmeter, and every instrument will work on the principle of Faraday's electromagnetic induction. Okay, so current carrying conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field. It will experience a certain amount of force. So this is how we used the concept of torque in our working principle of an instrument. So what is the torque? Torque is nothing but a twisting force, rotating force. Okay, so this is about the working principle of the instrument. So next we classify the torque. How can we classify the torque instant? Means for a proper operating instrument. Okay, here we are talking about, so here we are classifying the torque for indicating type instruments. So in last class we defined about indicating type instrument. Indicating type instrument is having a scale. See, in our electrical labs we have seen indicating type instruments. Okay, in a black box we are having a segmented scale on white display. Okay, so that is an indicating type instrument which is having an aluminum spindle, moving aluminum spindle. That is an indicating type instrument. For identification point of view, I'm raising this point. So what is the definition of indicating type instrument? Indicating type instrument will read the instantaneous value of electrical quantity. Okay, indicating type instrument will read the instantaneous value of electrical quantity. The electrical quantity may be voltage, the electrical quantity may be current, the electrical quantity may be power. So this indicating type instrument will read the instantaneous value at a particular instant of time on a segmented scale. Okay, on what particular scale? On a segmented accurate scale, we are indicating the instantaneous value. Okay, what is that instantaneous value? The instantaneous value may be voltage, may be current, or may be power. Okay, that means if it is if the indicating power is indicating electrical quantities and voltage, the instrument will be the voltmeter. If the indicating value is an ammeter, current indicating electrical quantities current, the instrument will be ammeter. If the indicating quantity is power, it will be an wattmeter. So that means here the indicating instrument will read the instantaneous value on a particular sectored augmented scale with the help of an aluminum spindle. Okay, so that is about the definition of indicating instrument. And previously we discussed about the operating principle. What is an operating principle? In between two permanent magnets or in between two magnets, we are placing the conductor, current carrying conductor. Okay, so whenever the current carrying conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field, it will experience certain amount of force. Okay, so that force is displayed with respect to an aluminum spindle or aluminum needle. So that is the operating principle. So what is the purpose of these torques? What is the class? We already discussed what is the need of torque. What is the need of torque? With the help of torque, we have to read how much amount of electrical quantity is flowing in the line. Okay, so with the help of torque itself, the needle will start displaying, and we will measure how much amount of current or how much amount of power is flowing in the, or how much amount of voltage flowing in the line. So here, in order to ensure a proper operation, in the indicating type instrument, so we need three types of torques. That means the instrument has to be operated properly. That means if there is a 5 ampere current is flowing in the line, the meter has to display only 5 ampere meter. That means the needle will start from the 0th axis to the 5 ampere 5 ampere rating, and it has to be stopped there without any dampings and without any severe deflections. The needle has to be read the exact value of current flowing in the line, or the meter has to read the exact amount of voltage flowing in the line. In order to read the exact amount of voltage flowing in the line, we need these three types of torques. We need deflecting torque, we need controlling torque, we need damping torque. So without these three particular torques, without deflecting torque or without controlling torque, without damping torque, the needle won't stop at a particular range. Okay, that means if there is a 6 ampere current or 5 ampere current flowing, so whenever we connect an ammeter in series to the line, the needle has to deflect from 0th point to the 5 ampere or 6 ampere. It has to stop there. Okay, without any rapid deflection, it has to stop there at that particular instant. So in order to measure a particular instant of current or a particular instant of voltage or a particular instant of power flowing in the particular line, we need these three particular torques: deflecting torque, controlling torque, and damping torque. So deflecting torque. So we will see one by one. We will analyze one by one, and we will see what are the techniques involved in employing these particular torques. That means there are various techniques involved. For controlling torque, we need additional auxiliary instruments, okay, spring controls and all. And for damping control also, we need additional things. So we will see what are the various possibilities or various possible instrumentation techniques in order to need for providing this particular torque. So first thing we have to see, that is deflecting torque. Deflecting torque. So deflecting torque. So how can we define the concept of deflecting torque? Means this is one of the very important aspects in a indicating type instrument. This is one of the very important aspect in indicating type instrument. Deflecting torque plays a very crucial role in indicating type instruments. What is the purpose of deflection torque means? So whenever we are placing this current carrying conductor in the presence of magnetic field, when our discussion of operating principle. So whenever we place this current carrying conductor in the presence of magnetic field, the conductor is started rotating, right? And the aluminum spindle is deflecting from particular instance. Initially, it is an aluminum pointer, which is our needle, is at 0th position. It will start deflecting slowly, and it will reach a particular maximum value of current or maximum value of voltage or current or power. So in order to move the needle, okay, in order to move the needle from the 0th instant to the particular range of current or voltage or power, we need certain amount of torque. That is nothing but deflection torque. So the deflecting torque will move the needle from the 0th instant to a particular range of value. Okay, so this is one of the important torque in our instrument condition. So one of the most important torque here, deflecting torque. So the instrument is connected with respect to the circuit as per electrical quantity. So the deflecting torque, how can we observe the condition of deflecting torque? Means the deflecting torque. Okay, so this is achieved by utilizing various electrical effects and all. So the deflecting torque produces, means Whenever the deflecting torque is produced, the needle will start rotating from 0th instant to a particular range. Either it may be, let us say the current flowing in the line is 10 amperes here. At the specific condition, we have connected an ammeter in series to the line. Okay, ammeter is connected in series to the line. The current flowing in the line is 10 amperes. What does happen with respect to the ammeter means ammeter is connected in series to the line. Current is carrying with respect to the conductor, and the conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field, and it will start rotating, and the needle itself starts moving from 0th instant to, in order to read 10 amperes. In order to read 10 amperes, that means we need a torque to move the needle from 0th instant to 10 amperes. That means initial torque required to move the needle from initial condition to a particular range of current, that is called deflection torque. Deflection torque. Okay, that means the initial movement of the needle to read certain amount of current in an instrument is handled by deflecting torque, which is uh, represented by the nomenclature or the term T suffix D. T in the sense torque here, capital T in the sense torque. D is represented with respect to deflection. Deflecting torque is represented by the term capital T suffix D. Okay, I'm explaining again how the deflection torque is very useful. See, so whenever we are connecting an ammeter in series to the line, okay, the current flowing in the ammeter is 10 amperes. See, listen very carefully. This is very important instant. If you have any doubts, just let me know in the chat box. We will discuss that at the end of the session. So the current flowing in the line is 10 amperes, and whenever we connected an instrument ammeter to the line, series to the line, okay. So the current carrying conductor which is placed in the instrument will start rotating in the presence of the magnetic field. Okay. So and the needle will start deflecting from 0th position to 10 amperes. So the initial deflection of the instrument is handled by the deflection torque in order to read a particular amount of current. So similar thing is happened with respect to voltmeter. Okay. So certain amount of 10 volts is the amount of voltage flowing in the line. So whenever we connect the voltmeter in parallel to the line, okay, so the EMF is flowing with respect to the conductor. So whenever a certain amount of EMF is flowing in the conductor, electrons will start flowing in the conductor. So that will be the current carrying conductor placed in the presence of a magnetic field. Okay, so the needle will start rotating, and the conductor will start rotating, and the needle will start deflecting from 0 volts to 10 volts at a particular sectored scale. So that means the initial torque required by the instrument to deflect from 0th instant to up to a certain amount of current, up to a certain amount of voltage represented on a particular scale. Okay, the torque required to move the needle at the initial condition is called deflection torque. Simple. Okay, so if you have any doubts with respect to this explanation, just let me know. So how can we classify the instruments in the concept of this where application means? So various types of instruments are classified. One is moving iron type instruments, works on magnetic effect. So DC and AC. DC potential and AC potential is required. The instrument, moving iron instrument, can be used as an ammeter as well as voltmeter. Moving iron instrument. Next, moving coil instruments are electrodynamic type effect, works only for with respect to DC, ammeters and voltmeters. And the dynamometer type instruments are type with respect to the effect of electrodynamic effect, which is suitable for DC potential and AC potential. So this type of instruments is used for ammeters, voltmeters, wattmeters. Most probably electrodynamic type effects are these instruments are used for wattmeters generally nowadays. And next, induction type. Induction type electromagnetic effect works only with respect to AC potential. And instruments we can use on ammeters, voltmeters and wattmeters, and energy meters. Most probably electromagnetic induction effect is quite used for AC, and preferably preferred instrument is energy meter and wattmeters. So we will again come across this classification individually with respect to the explanation. So up to now we discussed about, we will discuss this again. Up to now we discussed about the potential, that is deflection torque. Okay, and next time is controlling torque. Controlling torque. we discussed about deflecting torque. So we analyzed about how an instrument is used, okay, how an instrument utilizes the deflection torque, and how the needle is started moving from 0th instant to a particular instant. So next we discussed about controlling torque. Okay, so controlling torque, what is the purpose of controlling torque? See, in the previous discussion of deflection torque, it said 5 ampere current is flowing in the line and current carrying conductor is placed in the presence of magnetic field. It will experience a certain amount of force, I said. Okay, the current conductor will start rotating and the needle will start deflecting, I said. So whenever the needle deflecting from 0th position to the 5 ampere, 0th ampere to the 5 ampere, so does it stop there without any effect? Okay, if you see in some of the damaged meters, if we connected in the lab, some of the meters, in some meters, the needles start oscillating from 0th ampere to the maximum range. That means from 0th amperes to 2 amperes, 2 amp to 0th ampere, they go on oscillating and they go on deflecting without any controlling. That means what actually happens means whenever the instrument is connected in series to the line as an ammeter, or whenever an instrument is connected in parallel to the line as an voltmeter, at a particular measured current or a particular measured voltage, if it is a 5 ampere current is flowing in the line, the needle has to start from 0th ampere to 5 ampere and it has to stop there. If 10 volts is flowing in the line, the needle starts from 0th volts to 10 volts and it has to be stopped there. Okay, that means how does that thing happen? How this is the thing happening in the lab? If it is a working meter, healthy working meter, if we connect that healthy working meter into the line, if it is a 5 ampere current flowing in the line, the meter has to read the 5 ampere, the needle has to read from 0th ampere to 5 ampere, and it has to stop there. If it is a 10 ampere, 10 voltage current, 10 volts current flowing in the line, the needle has to read from 0 volts to 10 volts, and it has to stop there. How this thing happening means, so we are experiencing a controlling torque. We are experiencing the instant of controlling torque there. So what is meant by controlling torque? Okay, so how does this controlling torque produced? Okay, and what is the instrumentation involved in this controlling torque? That's what we are going to discuss here. So controlling torque. So controlling torque means, okay, the controlling torque opposes the deflection torque at an instant of time. That means at a particular instant of time, the controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque. Okay, at that instant, that means if it is a 5 ampere current flowing in the line, the needle is starting from 0th ampere and it is reaching the 5 ampere. It is reaching the 5 ampere current. At the 5 ampere current, the needle has to stop. The needle is stopped at that instant. When the needle is stopped at 5 ampere current, the controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque. You're getting my point, right? The controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque. At that condition, the needle will stop deflecting. Needle will stop its deflection. Needle will stop deflection. So what is the working principle of this particular controlling torque? What is the instant of controlling torque which we are talking about means, this controlling torque which we are discussing about, the controlling torque opposes the deflection torque at a particular increasing of the deflection. The controlling torque opposes the deflection torque. The pointer has to come to the rest position when these two particular controlling torque and deflection torque are equal. That means when the controlling torque produced with respect to the same deflection torque, when deflection torque and controlling torque are equal, at that condition the needle will stop deflection. Okay, so this controlling torque increases with respect to the deflection of moving system from the final position. That means the controlling torque increases with respect to the deflection of moving system. So the final position of the meter on a particular scale, on a particular magnitude has to be measured. So how can we analyze the concept of controlling torque? Means the controlling torque is analyzed with respect to controlling torque. When controlling torque is a deflection torque, the needle will start at a particular position instant of time. So whenever the supply is off, suddenly there is we were discussing a case. So right, we already explained in the example, like so we have to read 5 ampere current. Okay, the needle will start from 0th ampere to the 5 ampere, and after the needle reaching the 5 ampere, the controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque, and the needle has to stop there. Okay, So at a second case, what happened means the power is abruptly off condition. There is a power shutdown. What will happen? What has to happen whenever the power is off? The needle has to bring back to the initial position. Okay, so these two conditions has to be controlled with respect to the controlling torque. That means the needle has to be reached a particular magnitude, a readable magnitude of 5 amperes without any without any deficacy of deflection, without any improper deflection, without any damping in the deflection. The needle has to start at 0th instant. It has to read the 5 amperes. Okay, so whenever the power is off, the needle again has to come back to 0th position. Okay, that means the controlling torque will bring back the pointer to 0 when the deflection torque is removed. When the deflection torque is removed, at what particular condition the deflection torque is removed? The deflection torque is removed when the power is 0, when the power is off. When the supply is in off condition, the deflection torque is 0. When the deflection torque is 0, okay, what I'm saying here, the controlling torque is equal to deflection torque. I will explain with respect to an annotation. See, controlling torque is equal to deflection torque. Once again, 1 second. Controlling torque is equal to deflection torque, right? So controlling torque is equal to deflection torque. The meter started from 0th instant, it reached the 5 ampere current. Okay, so the controlling torque is quite healthy. There is no rather the deflection in the meter, right? It's good. So whenever there is an power off condition, what will happen when the supply is in off condition? This deflection torque is 0. Whenever the deflection torque is 0, whenever the supply is 0, automatically the deflection torque will be 0. Whenever the deflection torque is 0, the controlling torque will be again 0. Okay, that means the needle has to be bring back. So the needle has to be bring back at the particular instant of time. Okay, so whenever there is no deflection torque, the controlling torque has to bring back the needle to its original position, that is 0th position. Okay, so this is about the working principle of controlling torque. Controlling torque will produce two conditions. One is it will control the needle without an improper deflections. Okay, and it will it will bring back whenever the deflection torque is 0. That is whenever the supply is 0. Okay, so the controlling torque is always equal to the deflecting torque. Okay, that is one of the important instant. So whenever how this controlling torque is produced? The controlling torque is produced with respect to the two type of mechanisms we can produce the controlling torque. First one is spring control and second one is gravity control. So we discussed about the necessity of controlling torque. We discussed about the process involved in the controlling torque, and next we are discussing about two types of controlling torque, that is spring control techniques. These are the two techniques involved. First one is spring control and second one is gravity control. Gravity control. Second most important thing is gravity control. So how does this two things are involved in the process of instrumentation? Okay, we discussed about the process of purpose of controlling torque. We discussed about the definition of controlling torque, and we analyzed the relation between controlling torque and deflecting torque. Okay, just a small question. What is the relation between controlling torque and deflecting torque? Just let me know in the chat box. Just my question is, what is the relation between controlling torque and deflecting torque? Just anyone, just let me know the relation between controlling torque and deflecting torque. Just someone, right, posting in the chat box that controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque, right? Right. Thank you. You can stop now, right? Thank you, everyone. Controlling torque is equal to the deflecting torque. That relation between controlling torque and deflecting torque, that is T suffix T is equal to T suffix D. Okay, right. Thank you. So two type of techniques are involved. Someone posted query in the chat box. 212 19B8 180 212. What's the issue? What's the question? Short respond. Right. If you have any queries, just let me know in the chat box. I will ask small questions in our in between the sessions. It will be quite healthy. So two types of controlling torques involved, two types of techniques involved. One is spring control and second one is gravity control. So spring control and gravity control. So how this thing, the spring control, first we will discuss about spring control. Spring control, see, this is one of the most important and most common thing. That means by using these two techniques, spring control and gravity control, we can provide the controlling torque to the instrument. That is the main purpose, right? The main purpose of spring control and gravity control, while providing these two techniques, spring control and gravity control, we will provide controlling to torque to the respective instrument. So how can we control? How can we provide this type of spring control or gravity control? This is one of the most common instance. Spring control technique is one of the most common technique for providing controlling torque to the instrument. So how can we provide a spring control? Means we will use a spiral type spring, non-magnetic material spiral. Say this is the, I will zoom the image. So this is a non-magnetic material spiral spring. So this is the conductor. I'm saying current carrying conductor. Keep on saying. So this is the current carrying conductor, and